see, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. To push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
Welcome to the Brahma Kumaris, where a new world is opened up for you. From humble beginnings in India in 1936 to a global organization with over 8,000 centers in 110 countries and 1 million students worldwide. Through their tireless commitment, passionate heart, and determined spirit, the Brahma Kumaris arrived in America in 1974 and have since grown to 35 main centers throughout America. There are also 2 residential retreat centers, Peace Village, located in upstate New York, and Anubhuti, located in Novato, California.
I want to just share a little bit about how the centers of Raj Yoga meditation began in United States. Actually, I was in Caribbean islands and I got invitation from New York that we want to start something about meditation. And it was in 1978 I came here and we rented a very small apartment in Astoria. And from there I found that a lot of people have interest. I realized that there is so much need, and from there onwards then centers started in many other states.
Our centers are safe spaces where you can explore the power of your inner world.
The classes are conducted in many homes, many cities all over across the United States. A lot of people, they learn meditation, they use it, that meditation, at their workplace, in their family, and also I find that children, young adults, because they are so much into like what really is the life about.
The Brahma Kumaris are dedicated to personal and global transformation through the study and spiritual practice of Raj Yoga meditation. And at the heart of our teaching is the belief that the pathway to peace and happiness is to remember our original nature as spiritual beings connected to the One Source. In 1981, the organization received recognition as an international non-governmental organization affiliated with the United Nations and accredited with general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council. From organizing large-scale global initiatives to local community programs, the Brahma Kumaris has a tradition of service in every field that fosters spiritual growth among individuals from all backgrounds, cultures, and walks of life.
I hold on to this vision, the world of love, world of peace and harmony, world which is free from conflict and sorrow, where we can live as brothers, one family, children of common parents, one supreme divine power.
This is your invitation to awaken and join us in creating a world of love, peace, and kindness. Om Shanti. Hi everyone. Om Shanti. Welcome to The Next Normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. If you're joining us for the first time, The Next Normal is the evolved next segment of what we were doing for the last 4 months with Spiritual Vaccine Hour. If you've been with us from March 16th up until now, you have been on a journey of evolving your consciousness tremendously. But I believe that after we had filmed the 140 Spiritual Vaccines show, there was just a feeling that we were evolving, and we also were inviting the tribe to evolve. Now, again, if you're joining us for the first time, when you join the tribe here, if I'm with you and you're with me, then we're all going to help each other up. And that's what it means to be in the part of the next normal. We want to look for ways in which we need to move forward. We don't want to go back. And even though I know when you look at a pendulum and you pull back one of the final beats as far back as you can possibly and you release it, doesn't it take the first beat as far as possible? It even takes you much further than before. So even though it looks like there are certain energies out there that are trying to pull things back and make things sort of become more archaic, please do not be distracted. Do not be deceived, because the next normal will not be inviting people without discerning abilities. We're going to have to really begin to develop some deep spiritual, intellectual intelligence. Both are needed. The spirit, it serves the empathy, the compassion, the conscience of the soul. And the intellectuality says, I'm informed, I know what my rights are, I know where I'm going. This is what my gifts, my skills, my talents are. The next normal isn't asking you and me to stay ignorant. The next normal is asking us to be awakened. So thank you so much for joining us today, and our deepest apologies for all the tech glitches yesterday. But perhaps it was normal because it was on a conversation on past lives and reincarnation. And thanks to all the messages that we also received, we will be doing a part 2 to it because there was a lot of depth to it. And a friend of mine that has been on America Meditating Radio, Ainsley MacLeod, he did a powerful book called Past Lives. And basically what it talks about is that a lot of the fears, phobias, issues, limits, the emotional debris that we're still holding right now is coming from the past that we haven't let it go. Same soul on the journey, living through all these emotional experiences, that we might be living this life really not with the fullest of potential, because there's still something that is influencing us from not leaping forward. There's a lot to learn here, but you're in the vortex of the next normal. And so it's going to be an extremely special time. A few days ago, I was on Instagram and I came across my wonderful brother, Louis Gossett Jr. Instagram account. You can follow him right now if you'd like. And he's coming out in a movie called Foster Boy. And when I clicked the link and I saw it, he was playing the part of the judge. And I thought, this is so great to see Lou doing such good work and taking such projects that have such great meaning. Now, many of you know my mother, who was orphaned at 7. Yes, she could have been in foster care, but she ended up in orphanages. In the United States, there aren't as many orphanages as there might be in developing countries. So let's say if it was my mother, she maybe would have ended up in a foster care instead of an orphanage back in the day. I want us to be educated on this particular sector of the society. There's a huge story there that you will begin to learn more about, maybe friends who have been fostered, or maybe you might be interested in fostering a child to build them to your best ability, to make them into a citizen of something of the future. There was a young boy I saw on Twitter. Oh no, please don't let me forget his name. He was on Ellen's show, The Little Big Shot. I think his name was Jonah, who crochets or something. It was a young boy. His mother abandoned him and left him under a tree in Ethiopia. A woman found him and put him in an orphanage. And a couple from the United States was looking to adopt a child and ended up adopting this young man. At the age of 8 or so, he started to crochet. At the age of 9 or 10, he opened up a business. At the age of 11, he started a library to give back to his community what he has received. So imagine when a child comes from an environment or a situation where it seems like there's no hope for that child. How do you know that? Some of us are able to fight through. It could be the environment, it could be the people. Some of us can have all of that, but still just couldn't break through. But regardless, we're all traveling with some sort of a karmic story that, sometimes it just looks really, really tough, really tough. And how do I find the empathy to be able to bypass all of it and somehow transcend my particular life situation and circumstances, which at a physical, external level, I just don't seem to have enough control over it. So I'm going to play a video right now that's going to give you a little bit of an idea about the whole foster care world and why it might be an important opportunity or possibility to see if it's of interest to you. Santosh, take a look at this.
Hi, this is Shaquille O'Neal. Too many foster children have been unheard, unrepresented, uncared for. It's time to make our nation's foster kids a priority. Donate, volunteer, speak up, foster, adopt. Their lives hang in the balance. Join the fight for foster kids at fosterboy.com.
So glad I came across that. 440,000 children need a good home in the United States of America, the free world. Wow. And that's why I wanted us to have this conversation tonight. Our very good friend Louis Gossett Jr., if you don't know who he is, I'll give you a little bit of an introduction. He's a beloved actor, producer, musician, and writer with a storied and iconic career. His famous portrayal of Gunnery Sergeant Emil Foley in An Officer and a Gentleman earned him critical acclaim and an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, making him the first African-American man to win an Oscar for a supporting role. He has won numerous awards thereafter, including an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor and 2 Golden Globes. Louis is also a passionate activist who created the foundation Erasism, an organization dedicated to ending racism, cultivating peace, justice, and equality for all people. Lou has also been nominated just recently for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Movie for his role in The Watchmen. It gives me great pleasure to bring my brother on because his accomplishments are vast. But I really want us to get into the conversation of this movie that he's now being a very lead role in, and it was produced by Shaquille. So welcome, Lou. Thank you for joining us on The Next Normal. It always touches my heart when you make the time to come on any of our shows to just share with the world your wisdom, your passion, and your compassion. So welcome, my brother. Om Shanti.
Shanti, I know you recovered. It's amazing you have many miracles with you in your life. I'm glad to see.
Thank you. Thank you for your blessings. I came across this movie that's coming out shortly called Foster Boy. And because I like to learn a lot, I was very surprised at the statistics. When you got the part as the judge that's overseeing this case of this young boy who was arrested, who was in the foster care system, did you have to do a lot of research on this particular area of fostering children?
Ironically, the part was originally given to James Earl Jones, who was not physically able to do it. They asked me to step in at the last minute.
Wow.
So I trusted that James had done the proper research, which he had. And I started to play the judge and did some research on what judges do. And then let the story carry me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So tell us a little bit about Foster Boy, the movie.
Well, Foster Boy is an expose. It came out with good intentions, as Shaquille says, and some others. You talk about your mama and other people, and my parents too, where instead of adopting someone, you took them into your house and you took care of them as if they were your children. And then it became an organized thing with good feelings, and children would come to people's homes and there'd be a fund where they dip into the fund to take better care of your children. And then slowly but surely, finances and money came into the picture. Organizations, some big companies would award these families some money so that they could take care of these children, and it became in a bush. And this story is a true story. But a young man, and I'm going to tell you the ending, who sued this corporation for reparations, because the money would come to this family. They would abuse him, they would take advantage, and they would not use any of the money on him. And that's what the money originally was for.
Wow.
It learned me some lessons about money much more time. Sometimes it's a curse word. But it is a very important story that everybody should know about. Because sometimes foster care is not what it's built up to be.
You know, I never knew that, Lou, that it was a corporate big business.
Yeah, it became a business. It's about the money and about the money that goes to the family, and the family would keep the money, not spend any of the money on the child, and abuse the child on top of it.
You know,
With the
even
sick.
though Sister Gita, which is my mother, everyone, if you don't know by now, she was orphaned at 7, so she was in orphanages after orphanages. But, Lou, I have to tell you, I know the statistics are majority of foster children who actually have children end up where their children end up back in the system. So somehow
Yeah.
they're not able to break the cycle. And I have to tell everyone, my mother actually took in somebody in our home who was homeless. Later on, this young girl actually got pregnant in our home, which was not a good thing. And yet, Sister Gita still took that time to take care of her needs and to look after her. Not everybody has the ability to heal from such woundedness, you know? And I
Yeah.
think there are some children out there that have that tenacity and that courage to be able to rise up even if the odds are against them.
Many years ago, that was the natural thing for everybody in the tribe to do. We're losing that gift. It's not gone from our system. But many, many years ago, to the tribal area, of every tribe that I can remember, that healing thing about joining the family, joining the tribe, was essential. And people would be welcomed in, and they become a member of the tribe and get all the benefits. That stopped somewhere. We need to get it back. Another reason why we need to be one people, saving one people.
Yeah, one people saving
One
one people. I love that. What did you learn from this movie? Were there particular moments within the filming that the soul of Lou Gossett Jr. paused for a moment and had a deep realization about life?
Oh boy, I allowed myself to be fed by the information as they put the camera on me, and I heard the scenes. We made a decision not to read the script as much. If James Earl Jones took it, I'm going to service him and respect him. And the things I heard that the young actor, that Mr. McGee, an incredible young man, told about what was happening to him in homes and the abuse and the molestation, I was shocked. So then I learned how to do more, and they asked me to be part of the foundation. But I don't know why Mr. Samuels, that's what his life is devoted upon, and I respect him highly. I think it will start to get a groundswell of caring. These children, every child, in my philosophy, every child on the planet should get free education, free clothing, free spiritual teachings, free shelter, free medicine. And every child on the planet does that and gets that from us who have it on a daily basis. The problems we think about today will not be existing. And if we know that happens, why do we not do that instead of that and go for money? So this is between us and the promised land, if you want to call it that.
There was a song I remembered back in the day by a group that I loved called the Carpenters. I don't know if you remember them. Yeah, you remember Karen Carpenter? And there was a song that she used to say, "There's a kind of hush all over the world tonight." And I found myself saying, there's a kind of a darkness and an evil over the world. And my question to you is, where does that energy come from? You know, I always use the acronym ALGE: anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. And I know that it is a gradual emergence in our personality that begins to take the better of us. It takes us over, that we come to a point that we lose ourselves. And everyone who's watching, just look at how, even in the United States of America, if you happen to be here, how quickly you can get distracted by all the drama that is going on in the news and forget actually what you need to do for your own life. And what I've been noticing is that there's this energy over the world, as if people are in this country especially are wanting it to be more and more crazy and wild, that you lose sight of who you are. So that song was echoing in my mind the other day, and I had changed it from "there's a kind of hush" to "there's a kind of darkness and evilness lurking all over the world." Where do you think that comes from, that there are some people who have just lost sight that the fact
Well,
that they're God's children.
There's an angel that was kicked out of heaven. His name is Lucifer. He's very talented and very attractive. And he's stronger than any individual that we have. And he's waxing eloquent now in our society. There's only one thing stronger than Lucifer, and that's the God, who is stronger than Lucifer and us put together. So we have to make a daily choice of who we're going to be affected by. But Lucifer is put there by God. What we're suffering today was put there, I believe, by that divine power for us to have a choice to make on a daily basis. And if enough of us make that choice, and I see that happening today, to make the choice of going the divine way, Lucifer will be quiet, never go away. But he'll be off in a corner thinking about another way to get into it. But our connection with the right choice on a daily basis gives us our freedom.
You know, I love that. And in a way, it's so interesting because if that energy of darkness and the algae, you know, comes up so strongly, if you are the opposite of that energy, would you fight algae, or would you just let algae burn him or herself out and you carry on with the business at hand as to what it is that you have to do? Right, what you have to do.
But with the divine power and energy, algae will disappear.
Yes.
Thoughts about maintaining algae will go away, and there'll be a natural disappearance of algae, negative thoughts and actions.
You know,
Daily basis, why I'm here, meditation and prayer.
Exactly, exactly. Today I had the fortune of ending with a prayer on a call with Stacey Abrams. She's coming out with a new documentary movie called All In for Voting. And incredible lady, Yale graduate, you know.
You remember the singer, Tracy Chapman?
Who? Tracy Chapman, yeah, you got a fast car.
They look like the same family, don't they?
Wow. It's incredible. It's just so many bright people in the world. So anyway, look, as we look at the movie, I heard that it was drawn directly from the experiences of the children in the foster care system. And it's a system within which many foster children have been abused, neglected, denied services. Now, according to a 2017 investigation by the U.S. Senate Committee on Finance, what do you see as some of the factors contributing to the sad state of affairs? Is it just corporations, or why would people put innocent children in homes where they're going to be abused? What's the reason behind that?
The thing about abuse, the thing about the dollar they're making.
For
And
profit.
Dollar, the need for the dollar instead of the human being. Abuse comes.
Mm-hmm.
And you and me.
That's you. Yeah, so it's basically because a lot of these foster systems now are run by corporations. I was really saddened to hear that.
And they're relatives of the people in charge of the corporation, so the money goes to them, and they think about the money rather than the human being that they're taking care of.
Do you think money changes you, or do you think you were always that?
I think money can change us. We're educated that money is some people it's the root of all evil, but it's also the seeds of an evil. It can be both. But I don't think that we should, this is me, I don't think we should go for making of the money. We go for the right thoughts and actions. Money automatically follows us.
Well, let me show the trailer of the movie for everyone to see, just so they can get an idea about it. Everyone,
Absolutely.
take a look at Foster Boy.
Mr. Randolph, I see you more than I see my grandchildren. Representing yourself is not a good idea. Meet your new lawyer, Michael Traynor.
He got hurt. He wants money from the people he thinks are responsible. You'll be lucky to get a dime.
Why do I have to have you as my lawyer?
Your Honor, this is a known corporation versus a kid that looks like a thug.
Thug? When Jamal Randolph was a 10-year-old child, Belcourt ignored his repeated complaints that a 16-year-old that they had placed tortured him for a 3-year period.
Belcourt upped the offer to $150,000.
I already said no.
Belcourt took over where the government failed, Mr. Trainer.
The jury's not going to believe a black drug dealer.
They're my verses, but my past is stupid.
No, it's not stupid. Jamal, you write, don't you?
This is a nuisance case, Mr. Trainer. Take the offer.
I will destroy you and your company. Sometimes when we meet people, we don't see them for who they truly are. I'm sorry that I did not see you, Jamal.
Powerful. Powerful, Lou. Powerful. Wow. Brought a tear to my eye. Shaquille O'Neal was behind producing this. Recently, we had another unfortunate scene in the United States where I think it was 4 officers shot Jacob Blake.
Shot back taking care of his children and grandchildren.
Yes, 7 times in his back, and now he happens to be crippled from waist down. The NBA players and some of a player or 2 in the baseball and I think a few in the NHL or something have all decided that they don't want to play at this time with what's going on in the country, since most of them are African Americans. I especially liked the fact that LeBron James initiated that. What do you think about the NBA players actually stepping up to risk their careers to say, please, enough is enough. A law has to come into effect to stop police officers from killing black men in this country. What do you think about that?
100% I agree. I'm an elder, I'm the seer. I'm like Dr. King in a sense. I learned from him. But I think the most historical thing happened when those athletes did that. Because the public reveres them. And they think they're the most important thing. So they took the advantage, especially the Milwaukee team. And they did something brave, what they think is brave. And I can identify with a behavior. Not unlike the watchmen when we have to wear masks. In order for us to be honest with, to take the masks off. Those young men who I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
Took the masks off and said, we're not going to do this anymore. We've had enough. So you enjoy our talents. Let me get your attention for a minute. Let me tell you what we can do. As an elder, there has to be another plan.
Yeah.
So we've got your attention. What do we want to do? So now we can empty out all the atrocities and all the things we had to do in our minds. We have to come up with a positive. When last time it's going to take mankind to come mankind?
Where do you feel God is at this particular time? Because I know His energy is available, but it's up to me and you to allow the soul to connect, to feel, to pull that energy. Where? Yeah, like what's going on where maybe even nowadays you hear so many people have one particular man in their minds every day, morning, noon, and night. And really what we should have is the bliss and the light and the power of God's energy in our minds every day so we can move forward. What do you think has happened?
Action. It colors everything we do.
What do you think is that we're not talking enough about the need for God in all of our lives right now? We're talking about this thing, the Senate, this man, this administration, this person, that person. And everybody seems to be in a mess, Lou. So how can we start a conversation to bring God down, to be able to bring God in the hearts of His children so that we can stop all of these games of atrocity?
It sounds easier, but it's not so difficult to allow God to come into our daily life. We have to make a decision to allow it. So it supersedes the earning of money and the paying of a bill, the gaining of another person who's powerful that we can decide with, the owning of a house or a car, the topical things that we think it makes our lifetime pleasure. We have to allow, by doing certain things on a daily basis, to allow that bright light to come to us and for us to come to it. And the rest will take care of itself.
Yes. When we talk about that bright light, are you talking about the light of the soul?
The light of the soul, the spirit. It's just like I'm speaking to some young people tomorrow at a place where they're young men. And the thing that they can identify with is that, and we all can identify in school, where the teacher is going to teach us a little science. You take on a piece of paper metal shavings. Then you take a magnet and put it underneath the metal shavings, and everywhere that magnet. We have the same chemistry in our body when we're close enough to God's power. It doesn't look like it, but it is exactly the same geological chemistry. And how do we do it? By imbibing in the message, the divine power of God on a daily basis, and getting good at it so it becomes a program of attraction.
Right.
That neutralizes almost anything else in the world. All negatives go away. That's what I've been learning in this old age, if you want to call it that.
Old age? No. I call that antiquity.
Yeah,
really, really valuable.
Yeah, but those athletes and LeBron, I highly respect it.
I was just so inspired.
Enough. He said enough. So he's seen the light. I'm with them. Anything they want to do, I support them.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching in right now, and we're having this heart-to-heart conversation with the incredible Louis Gossett Jr., and we've touched on the foster care system and his upcoming movie called Foster Boy that was presented, and executive producer was Shaquille O'Neal. And we're looking at the foster care system and what has happened to it. But we're also talking about the current issue about this kind of a hatred. And in a way, it's an ignorance of hatred. And Lou, many, many years ago, way ahead of whatever we've been going through of maybe the last 4 years, even more so with the hate between black and whites or anyone of brown skin and white skin, Lou started a nonprofit entitled Erasism. And I came across it, and I thought it was very powerful what he was doing with it. And I'm wondering if you could talk to this, Lou, to share with us a little bit about the foundation, the organization, what it's actually doing, and in what way we can actually join in to help out with your Erasism Foundation.
Well, it's had its enemies because it's making sense, and the more enemies it makes, the more difficult it is, and the technology thing. But the concept of Erasism is in my heart and in my bones. That's where it has to start. As a young American African man, you go around the world 3, 4, 5, 6 times in all the cultures. And in every culture I found a similarity. There's a pure way of living, and then there's the outside elements that make it go off a little bit, and then disband and want us to kill each other and take advantage, including the African culture, where we had women in harems and slaves and all that kind of stuff. But we've learned our lesson. We're the oldest culture. And what I learned in putting those particular things together, I have a choice. I'm a responsibility as an elder to teach young people, for what it's worth, what my findings are as a result of my travels. And I noticed that the one thing that makes mankind really flourish is that ancient practice of a tribe. Everything a human does, until they're old enough to think and walk and feel, is everything they do is first for the benefit of the whole tribe.
Yeah.
It protects, you get the nuts and the grapes and the fruits, and everybody eats. You take care of the goat's milk, and everybody drinks. But you take care of the protection, and everybody has their first thought is for the benefit of the whole.
I have to tell you.
Primitive thing to a country, that's a no-brainer.
But I have to tell you, I thought we were going that way, you know? Things like Uber and shared things, home away, you know, where people, where people who weren't using their apartments or their homes would rent them out. People who had, you know, cars who they weren't using very much, they would go out and pick people up. It seemed as if we were moving towards a shared economy and a shared environment. And then, yeah, but then now you're speaking to something that I think is important, that there's a kind of a self-serving mentality that first I've got to look out for me, which I get. But to what extent do you think that in looking out for myself, does this benefit the whole? And I think that's the important question that we should ask when we look out for ourselves.
It's like that song, Is That All There Is? I wish I had my Rolls Royce, and I wish I had my 2 stories, and I wish I had a wonderful yard and a dog and a horse. And you get there, and 2 weeks later you say, it's not enough. That's grabbing you, just like we do with the catching fish by the jaw and pulling us into the wrong area. All of that without money, and it doesn't look like it because it doesn't make sense in this human mind.
Yes.
That we ease to the kingdom, which is for the rest of our life, if we have a fearless belief in the system of mankind, saving mankind.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you know, as we're doing our interview, we got a wonderful tweet from Foster Boy, and yay! So here's what they're saying, right? They even said Om Shanti. Well, you know you're in our good books now when you be doing the Om Shanti. But guess what? The movie, everybody, hear this now. It is actually now available for pre-order on iTunes, and it will make its theatrical release and video on demand on September 25th. So put down that date. Fantastic. Put that date down. Wonderful. Love to hear that. So does anyone have any questions? Cicely Greaves wants to find out what was the information of your organization. So it's entitled Erasism, Cicely. So it's ERACISM, and then just Googling Louis Gossett and the whole foundation organization will come up. So does anyone have any questions for myself or Lou? Are you enjoying the conversation? Thumbs up. Let me know what's going on. Portia Davidson, Lou Gossett says, we both look like we're 20 years younger. It's the camera. It's the camera. It's the camera.
No, that's what they all say. No, it's not just the camera.
But it looks good. Anyway, so Julie Johnson is saying that I have noticed that compassion is lacking in people's hearts. And yeah, I know, Julie. And I see that. And one of the things that I'm learning from myself as well, Julie, is even if I see that the compassion is lacking, I don't want to get infected by that. So I need to still be me. So what we're learning is how we have to level up, really get higher than the vibration that we're witnessing. And I beg everyone, turn off all that negative debris. Yes, I take maybe 15, 20 minutes. I scroll through my Twitters. I catch up a little bit on what's going on. That's all I need. But even as I was looking through Twitter today before coming on air, I could feel the emotions. There was a video, Lou, with this young man that shot a few people with the protest in, is in Wisconsin? It's called Khashoggi or something. And they showed that video with this, young guy walking around with his AK-47, whatever, and this young 17-year-old. I feel so much empathy for this young man. He just poor child. Yeah. To have been grown with that hate. And then right next, this is all in Twitter, everyone, but not even 10 seconds. This is how much you have to be so careful. I'm just scrolling through. Then there's another video right next to him holding his rifle of Jacob Blake getting shot by those cops as he was just going into his car with his back turned. And as you're looking at that, even my whole system, Lou, I could feel like, oh God, like this is just not right. None of it is right for the 17-year-old. His life is ruined. To have this mentality, and it's not right for a young child of God, a black man, it doesn't matter his color, going into his car and being shot at 7 times. So
we're paying a karmic debt there.
Oh yes, there is a karmic debt that's being paid off. There is no doubt. There is no doubt. You are absolutely right. At the same token, where do we put a plug in it? Where do we stop it? It has to stop at some point. So I was just saying that as I scroll through it, everyone, I could feel the energy of the emotions as if it's trying to pollute my world. So that's where I wanted to just let everybody know, please be very, very sensible as to how much you choose to feed into the system if you want to be and do more. So I got a question for you. How can we impact this election, Louis? This is by Portia Davidson. She's got a question for you.
We impact it by being responsible in voting and encouraging others to vote at the same time. That's the bottom line. Votes. Active votes, and encourage others to do the same. That's the bottom line.
I have to tell you, I've not been worried about the popular vote. I've been trying to educate myself even more and my friends. Get to the electoral college, wherever people are, where those areas are. We need to impact that area to really be able to understand how the system is unfolding. Jermaine Mitchell wants to know, how do you remain so encouraged?
Because through the year, I've been discouraged, and it didn't work. And I want to be alive and be discouraged at the same time. Too much responsibility for an elder. So somewhere you make a decision, sometimes on a daily basis when times are hard, and you do it on a daily repetition on a daily basis. The negative begins to disappear. The positive starts to take over. You do those things habitually that make things better, even though it doesn't seem like it.
Yes.
We're not in charge of our lives. We're not behind the driver's seat, but we know what energy to aspire to in order for that to happen on a daily basis. We're reluctant to do it because Lucifer is very habit forming, very pleasant to begin with, but there's something better than Lucifer, and we have to have that peace and that stick-to-itiveness to eventually surrender to the higher power where the keys of the kingdom remain. The simple sympathy, empathy, tenderness, understand rather than be understood, comfort rather than be comforted, dying rather than awakening. That's the only way we're going to awaken to a spiritual world. We have to be benevolent first, us first. It doesn't seem like it if we have any of Lucifer's thoughts in there, but in the long run, we become a faithful servant of the higher power.
Yes.
Whom we call God.
And that's what you would tell a young African-American man who might be so angry right now and so at a loss for where he feels he fits in. Is there anything additionally that you would tell him to keep his soul strong and focused?
Now I'm getting results. The thing that you're angry at, the thing that you're demonstrating, you want to blow things up because you don't have it. If you get them, it's less than you deserve. That's how much you know about yourself. So before you do that, learn more about yourself. I have a mini-series that I'm trying to get together called The Gangbanger Project. I get these boys to go back to Africa and remember who their forefathers are and were, and what life was like before slavery.
Yes.
And they spend a couple of times, they go into the tribes and see what it was like. And then they come back home. Gangbangers who look at each other because they wear different colors and they want to shoot one another. That would be the last thing they would want to do when they come back from that experience. Then the girls go. And the girls do the same thing. And then, of course, it ends in a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And we go, now sit at the table with diversity. So now you know who you are.
You know, I hosted a panel discussion with Teda Prince. We were in his music video, John Legend's. Oh, what a good young man. And he's only 18. We're going to play his song, actually, right before we end the show, The Love One Another. It's just perfect because we're in the video together.
Absolutely.
I listened to Teda, everyone, and Teda is only 18. And some of the folks in the interview, he said, well, a lot of people say, you know, if I do rap, you know, at least let it be raw and let it be a little bit more of that level. And he goes, no, I don't want to make rap like that. I want to make music and rap that takes us to another level. And just imagine, you know, whoever you might be, listening to a young man at 18 saying, there's got to be another way that I can do rap. There's so many good young men out there who just want to be left alone and feel safe in this country. So, yeah, it's my wish that we just really keep spreading this vibration. A woman called Dawn, hey Dawn, Dawn Simmons, just said that her son is an actor in California, and she just forwarded to him your nonprofit information.
Right now, it's the cell phones go back in the pocket.
I know. So she just told her son about you, and he just got he just went to check out your nonprofit so that he can get involved. Cicely Greaves wanted to know, she's just amazed at the way you keep your energy at a high frequency. Again, this is the second time someone has asked, what keeps you so up and optimistic even though you know it's a little bit dark?
Well, that's my job, is to keep the peace and keep the spirit up.
Yeah.
And easier than I thought. So now I like it that way rather than the other way. And when it's time for me to be quiet, I be quiet and I go to meditate and go to sleep. And it seems like I'm at 84 years old. That's a miracle in my life. So I'm not going to change that rhythm. I think I hear the divine energy. When it's time for me to rest, I rest.
Yes.
I'm still fighting these things when I get unrest and I complain. That's not me. That's not the part I want to enhance. So slowly but surely, I'm getting into that area. But at the end, the energy is endless.
Yes.
It's endless. It has nothing to do with being tired or anything like that.
So when you hear the word soul, what comes to mind? What's your understanding of the soul?
The soul, it's the stuff that's inside of you that you allow either the devil or the Lord to touch.
That's beautiful.
It's
And
up to us to allow, to make that decision, who's going to touch it and have the most experience, influence.
And God?
Of God is in charge of all of it.
When you hear the word karma, what comes to mind?
Well, I hear the word karma because as a member of the oldest civilization ever to exist on the planet, we had slaves, we had women in harems, we had eunuchs and all that stuff. And we now know it was a mistake and we paid the karma for doing that. So we know not to go there anymore. So when we see that practiced on us, which is a karmic debt, we need to tell those particular people who are practicing it on us, consciously or unconsciously, that they're going to have to pay a debt, a karmic debt. And then one day, maybe all of us will have paid the debt so that we can be together in person to create peace amongst all of us.
Louise F. made a nice statement here I want to share with you. It is important that we're educated and have common shared goals for humanity, drawing on morality and love. The main source of darkness is interested with false identity, with the material and the separation. Now, what is the answer, though, on a collective level? Or is it our responsibility to connect with God and remain elevated? Great question, Louise.
Boy, it's a great question, but the last part of it is essential, to connect with God and remain elevated. But so there's let's see. There's certain things that get in our way of getting a message, or listening to a song, or a sermon, or any other poetry that blocks us from thoroughly enjoying that peace. And it's part of us, blocking certain things because of that's happened in our lives, that we have to work on once we know what they are, and ask God to remove them. So there's a clean, clear passage between those words and that spirit and our inner soul. Mm-hmm. And then we have the rest of the thing to keep it going stronger and stronger and not ever get in the driver's seat. That's a daily thing for the rest of our lives. That's where some of that energy comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
That's right. It's just me. But if young people ask me, that's my answer.
But that's the next normal. I mean, it just, in one way we can envision maybe worse than the way that it is. And, just looking at where things are going, we are going to see more hate, more fighting, more violence on the streets of America. And I'm pretty sure it's coming from, individuals up there that are, saying to do things. But at some point, that gets tiring.
It sure does, very quickly.
Because lie and anger.
So I did that. People like myself have more energy than the people who want to fight.
Yeah. Because it's exhausting. It's exhausting to keep hating.
It's exhausting to watch.
Yeah, that's a good one. It even gets exhausting to just watch it on its own. That's true. So listen, I'm going to play our video that we were jamming with in Los Angeles. I can't believe that was just a few months ago, where we were really here about to love one another. And I mean, come on, everyone. Let's wake up. Now, of course, everybody who's watching this and who are in the tribe, we're the love tribe. But we need to reach out to individuals who are struggling with that energy. And sometimes I've even caught myself talking to someone completely opposite to me. But you know what I've practiced, Lou?
What?
I practice that when I'm in front of them, I consider myself a soul, I remember God, and then in my heart, however that person is, I know that's a child of God, and I don't want to see their limits. And I think, and I have a lot of thoughts and faith in this, that I think that's what has maintained my relationships that have been so vast and inclusive. I don't want to see what your limit or what you're struggling with.
Yeah.
So even as we're...
My great-grandmother's story.
Tell me.
She never went to school. As a matter of fact, here she is. And she gave me one lesson. And she had this snuff that she used to do. She died at the age of 117. She was a slave.
Wow, 117.
That's her and me.
Oh.
And that's
Oh my God.
And she said one thing. She said, "Come here, let me tell you something. God was here before you got here. Be here while you're here. You're going to be here long after you're gone. So you're going to calm on down."
Oh.
Things. And when I listened to her, everything was fine. And when I didn't, everything was not.
We all need a grandmother like that.
We all had. There's some elder somewhere to tell.
Yes.
And I wish there was an elder to tell all young people that simple sentence.
So for those of you who are out there and you're listening in and you're under 80, you're young.
Right.
So you need to listen. You need to really listen. And again, Lou, what my messaging is, don't get caught in the distractions. And even as we see the games, know your focus, know what you have to do.
Yeah, it won't happen for so long, but the Lucifer is relentless.
Absolutely. All right.
Relentless, stronger than me.
All right. So let's show everybody the time when you and I were jamming in LA.
Yes.
With John Legend, Dionne Warwick, Big Boy, Ada Rodriguez. Who else was there? Teda, Sean.
What's his name?
Which one?
He's dealing with the families whose people got shot.
Oh yeah. There was so many because we were in the back and I was just talking, having a great time with everyone. But yeah, but enjoy this song, Love One Another, and you can also get it on Spotify and iTunes. And feel free to comment and hashtag it too. It's really a beautiful song. Enjoy this watch.
New York is a current epicenter of the coronavirus, with cases climbing past 100,000.
CDC reports more than 9,000 healthcare workers have been infected.
More than 30 million Americans have filed for unemployment.
In just 2 months, the coronavirus has killed more Americans than the Vietnam War.
And during this historic time, we need to love one another.
Hey, Tavon, it's your mom. I was just calling to check up on you, making sure you're doing okay. I also wanted to remind you, you can only love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're protecting your mind. All right, love you. Bye.
For my brother, for my sister, for my cousins and my lovers, all God's children. This is for these streets. This is for the weak. If you're feeling down, come on now, come and listen.
We need to love one another, need to hug one another. We sell drugs to each other. A brother would say love you, but he'll still kill you. That right there, dog, will be the end of us, but this will be the hell of us. I got the blueprint, how I'm gonna save us. I have the blueprint, how I'm gonna make it. And everybody back home, I ain't forget about you. Don't focus on the current, it will drown you out. And if you lost in the hood, you can't get out. And it's the world's savior, watch me walk it out. Story of my life that I'm about to talk about. How we go from being kings to fiends and now the dreams. Just to be a trap star. And many times go down that road and they didn't get far. And if you tired of the stressing, let this be a lesson. Love is the answer to the question.
For my brother, for my sister, for
they painted Jesus Christ as a white man. Around we go, where the love at? And when you look in the mirror, do you love that? Self-hatred, displacement. It's funny how the hate take on different faces, and how happiness can get you through the mazes. And when you come out, you on top. And keep moving on, cause the hate don't stop. You gotta help yourself to get the love back. You gotta help yourself to get the love back. You gotta help yourself to get the love back. Now where the love at? Now where the love at?
For my brother, for my sister, for my cousins and my lovers, all God's children. This is for these streets. This is for the weak. If you're feeling down, come on down, come and listen. Hey, love one another, love one another. Oh yeah, come on. Hey, my sisters and my brothers, love one another. Oh yeah, come on. Hey, my sisters and my brothers, love one another. Oh yeah.
Hey. Wasn't that a great memory?
18 years old.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Louis Gossett Jr., thank you for showing up on The Next Normal. You are offering humanity hope, inspiration, consistent goodness.
It's easy the other way.
Yeah, you're offering us wisdom, kindness, strength, courage, understanding, love for God, and we thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Specifically you.
Yeah. Shall we hold 30 seconds of prayer for the country?
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for The Next Normal. I hope you've taken a lot of benefit from today's conversations. I know I have. And don't forget the movie Foster Boy, which you can order, pre-order on iTunes, and the theatrical release will be on September 25th. Just go to Foster Boy on Twitter, or maybe even on Lou Gossett's Instagram to keep updated. I'm pretty sure you're going to love this movie. It's going to be very heartwarming, and if you happen to want to support somebody who needs a good family, check them out. All right, let's hold 30 seconds. If we can even go longer than 30 seconds, let's hold a good minute of our thoughts that are projecting vibrationally to create peace in the United States of America. Take a deep breath. And send your wishes forward to Jacob and his family, to his parents, to the friends and family of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, so many more. But to also the police officers and our young brothers and sisters in Caucasian bodies who are feeling uncomfortable, perhaps, that they need to use a weapon. Let us flood them with the energy of peace. Every single one of them. And let there be peace at this moment in time in the USA. Om Shanti. The more we can radiate our inner peace, that vibration will spread far and wide. Let's help each other. Let's raise each other up. Even if we seem to be so far away from compassion, empathy, and love, we have to still raise them up. Thank you, Louis Gossett, for joining us and making the night so special. Lots of love and good wishes to you, my sweet, sweet brother. All the very best. Take care. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight and you've taken away something that has helped you to move towards the next normal. What is that next stage of compassion or generosity or kindness that you want to walk into to make this world shine brighter, to make your heart shine brighter? I want to give a big shout out to one of our #1 fans, Sheila in the Philippines. Thank you so much for you and the whole gang tuning in. And I'm so glad that it's been a helpful tool for you and your little clan over there. So really happy to have you on board and supporting us fully. As you know, when we started this, it was really just for us on an intimate level. And we really wanted to just really be so connected in just very unique ways that we just wanted to be here for each other. And the fact that we've built this beautiful community with each other, it touches my heart so much, you have no idea. Okay, so thank you. So on behalf of all of us here, big hug, many kisses. Stay good, don't get distracted, stay true, keep powerful, know that God's got your back, but you do have to remember Him, most importantly. Enjoy these closing videos and see you tomorrow. Om Shanti.
We find our nation on a precipice, true tipping point. Is this the moment that will finally change our country?
Trying to rain on the thunder. Tell the storm I'm new. I'ma rain on this little love. Tell the tweet I'm new.
It's not a broken system. It was built to function exactly as it is.
We must respond with bold action.
This is our country too. We can build new systems that do what they should.
I'm a walk, I'm a march on the regular.
We are united. We are standing.
Follow away.
And we are going to fight this fight.
Freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. I break chains all by myself.
There is something happening across this country.
When we work and when we fight and when we march and when we speak up and when we offer solutions, we win.
I'ma keep running cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
It's always the right time to celebrate women and Black women in particular.
It is an opportunity to show the nation and the world that we will act. It has been an inspiration.
You have the choice, and it is that choice that gives you power.
Vote. Vote like your life depends on it because it does.
That is what we need next. Action.
Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wise-ish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you. Hi everyone, I'm Sister Jenna. Welcome to our special Zoom meditation segments. Look, it's no joke. Things are kind of weird. It's just weird. Pandemics, protests, job insecurity, global pause. Everyone's numb, but also everyone's searching. And they might be searching on this little gadget of Zoom in a little box. People from all over the world who don't know each other, are coming together in Zoom rooms to figure out who they are, why they're here, and how to meditate. Meditation is something that we've often thought that if we make our minds empty, we've meditated. I don't believe that. I think it's important that we learn how to channel our thoughts in a right way that are connected to our vision, our goal, our spiritual attainments, our mental capacity. Then you're really meditating.
Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for